Well, this is my little Suzuki 4x4 right-hand drive. It'll probably outlast 5 brand new Lexuses in succession, even though it's 35 years old, and or 37 years old, whatever it is. It's 85, 34 years old, and probably outlast 20 or 30 BMWs or Lexus, or what do you call those, Mercedes. So I put a new Edelbrock choke cable in here, and what happened with the old one, it's a manual choke, it broke right here. This pot metal broke, and it came with the rebuilt Toyota carburetor that I put on here a while back. Very simple though. To me, having a carburetor in a manual choke is a lot better. It's unexpected that something like this broke, but even when it broke, I was still able to operate it with a pair of vice grips, and I don't really need it much in the summer. So it's a simple device. You just pull on a cable, and it operates a choke on the top of the carburetor. You know, it's simple. The cable, I got to cut it to length. It's got to go through here. Then this cable gets clamped down onto that, and then this end here gets put through that. And it operates the choke, which is like a butterfly on the top of the carburetor. In case you people don't know, it's millennials or whatever probably don't know what it is. It's not your fault. It operates that. So when it's closed like this, it enriches the fuel mixture so you can start it up. The thing is with these carburetors, a couple disadvantages, I guess, is that you know, if you let the car sit a while, you'd have to crank the engine a while to make the mechanical fuel pump work, which as it works off the camshaft, it's like an arm in there, it works off a lobe in the camshaft, to pump the fuel from the gas tank into here. If it's only sitting a few days, it'll start right up. Then you'd have to pump the gas to get it down into the engine. If you got fuel injection with an electric fuel pump, it starts instantly, even if it's sitting for a few months. But be that as it may, this is way simpler. There's less stuff to go wrong with this. The only thing that could really go wrong with this, the carburetor gets dirty internally, but if you keep it clean with some gum out every once in a while, you're not going to have a problem. And this cable basically is foolproof, except I guess one of my problems was that the pot metal broke, but this is an Edelbrock replacement cable, so I don't doubt this thing's going to ever break. I want to cut this to length right now. We're going to install it and to be done with it. I also have this little rubber grommet here that goes in there, and I cut a slice out of it so I could slip it over that and just glue it in there, and that keeps your weather from going in there. But basically, you really can't go wrong with this, and simple mechanical setups are far more reliable. People don't bother with them anymore because they got sold a bunch of sales pitch on all these gee-whiz electronic gadgets and things. This is a fuel pressure regulator, which is an add-on, which makes the pressure, I keep it regulated at 3 pounds PSI, which helps the carburetor work better when you're going up different grades and stuff with this little 4x4, which works pretty well because it's small. And I did change out last week. I changed out what they call is the bushing or the sheet for this shifter. Yeah, it's working fine. Actually, I didn't say this at the video, but this is a Suzuki Jimny 1300 or an SJ13. It has a transfer case from the SJ410. It used a different part for that bushing on the bottom of the transfer case shifter. What I did, instead of buying it, well, I got another one coming with the cover because the dust boot was missing, but to make it work, the neoprene bushing work, that was for the later model 86 and above transfer case. I just took a pocket knife and cut the neoprene bushing to size, had to whittle it down, and it works fine. I've been putting it in the low range, high range, no problem. And you know, that's one of the things, you know, on YouTube, they don't want you to have knives or something, but I use that knife to fix that bushing on this, and I'm probably in the future, they're probably not going to let you have cars like this because they're going to force everybody to have electronic cars that only they tell you where you can drive. But for now, we still got the option. We can actually drive our own car, but you know where things are getting so restricted. But the deal is, right now I'm going to cut this to size. You know, I was slowed up on doing some of this stuff because it was raining out so much. It was ridiculous. I mean, it's like not, this is the first sunny day we had in a while. So I'm going to get this done and show you how it works. The way this works is when you have the choke pushed all the way in, like that. Okay, come out here, attach to the cable, and the choke is all the way open, so you get full air. Then when you close the choke or half close it, whatever, you adjust your air fuel ratio while the engine's cold. When I start it up in the morning, you just take this, pull it out like that, and basically for winter starting, not 90 degrees starting, then you can see choke is fully closed right there. See that? Fully closed. So this operates that. So yeah, that's all it is. Nothing to it. That's why tech people probably won't like this, because it gives you freedom. I'm keeping this buggy. I got it almost brand new when I bought it back in Japan. And as far as Google cars go, this is going to be apt for this vehicle. It's got the Rebel thing on there. In other words, we're going to be driving with a steering wheel, no electronics, and we're going to be staying free. And this thing, you know, as long as I keep the rust away from it, which I've got it rust proof like crazy, it's probably going to last freaking 50 or 100 years. And also, I'm going to tell you that the HHO setup I have in here, the hydrogen oxygen setup, whatever you call that stuff, working still fine. This thing with the plates in it, I'm going to probably put one in the El Camino a little later. I got too many projects going on right now. It's working fine. And I got to connect it here. I was just filling up the water, the bubbler. So anyway, works fine, and haven't any issues with it at all. So just got to put the air cleaner back on it, and we're all set. This is how you want to keep things running. People get snowed into this advertising, and they keep buying new vehicles, and guess what happens? They're stuck into the endless chain of buying new. And you say, well, I don't know how to fix my car. Well, I'll tell you the truth. This one is not so crazy difficult to fix. The ones today, even if you know how to fix them, and even if you have all the electronic equipment to diagnose them when they finally start going bad, you say, oh, just get another one. Well, like I said, they're going to go to driverless cars, and you're going to really have no freedom. This is going to be one of them cars in the future that should be carrying this flag on the back of it, because it's going to be operated with a steering wheel, no electronics, and with that hydrogen setup, it's got low emissions without making with the electronics. So Cherokee Braves and Rebel Media, here we go.